Welcome to Real Talk with Real Estate Pros, where we bring you exclusive interviews with the real estate experts. We'll delve deep into their journey to success and learn how to go the extra mile to serve their clients' wants and needs. Let's dive in. Here's your host, John Money McKinley.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. Really excited today. I've got a great show for y'all, but I really would like you all to do me a favor. Please let people know about my channel. Let people know about my shows that I do weekly, delivering straight to the point, honest talk about real estate and what's happening in our town. There's a lot of stuff going on around the news right now and a lot of stuff going on in your televisions that just isn't giving you the truth that you need to have. And that's why I brought that here. Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. But I got a great guest on today. His name is Andre Beraud, and he is making stuff happen in real estate. He's a Houston-based real estate agent. He's affiliated with CR Elite Realty. He's also recognized for his commitment to excellent and quality and service in real estate. He's also garnered recognition as one of Houston's top emerging agents. He also has accolades being involved. He was named by the Houston Black Real Estate Top Agents as in the top 20 Black real estate agents. He's really got a lot of stuff going on. He also does a lot of things that's very near and dear to my heart. Is he does a lot of work with real estate investing. Andre, thank you for coming on board this morning. How are you doing today, sir?
John Money McKinley. Let me tell you, that has a ring to it, by the way. It sounds just like money. Awesome to be here.
Oh, thank you very much. That's like I tell everybody, you want to buy real estate? I got all the money you need. I got a magical wallet. You just tell me how much you need.
Yes. Yeah. Let me borrow that so I can share it with my wife as well. Okay.
You got to fill out an application, my friend. That's all you got to do.
Yes. Super excited to be here, John. Just want to say for the millions of people who's watching and listening, this show is very vital for our community. Because just like John stated, television is live on every channel, right? And you have to get in the room with people who have the intellectual property on what's going on in the banking industry. And look no further than John Money McKinley to get all of your investment needs and money needs to really know what's going on. So, John, we definitely thank you for your commitment to sharing the vision and the information that you're sharing to the millions. So thank you for that, John.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And like I said, it's an honor to have you on my show because there has been a lot of misunderstanding about what's happening in the market, whether it's the financing or whether it's the real estate side. And that's the reason I put this show together last year is I want to get the information out there to our Houstonians, in and outside of the Houston area. We know Houston is a huge city.
Yes.
Okay? There's a lot going on. You've got, Sugar Land, Katy, the Woodlands, Kingwood. It's just such a vast area. And I want to have people on my show every week that are going to be able to share with the community what's going on in their backyard. I mean, we do things as well, too. We even have some local businesses come on the show from time to time to talk about what they're doing in the local community. And with as much as you have going on in the world of real estate, as well as the real estate investing side of things, you see a lot of stuff going on in the community. And that's why I'm glad you're here to bring this information to my audience, because you're out there on the streets every day, seeing what's happening, seeing where we're starting to see some revitalization going on around town.
Yes. As you hit it right on the spot, John, we can start there. But before we start, I always like to start my segment and anytime the Lord give me opportunity to speak, just to say it's a blessing to be here. And you wouldn't have the Andre you have today without my team. So big shout out to my lovely wife, Joanne. Joanne, thank you so much for what you do for the brand and the business. And the growth that people see is because of my help me. right? My lovely wife cheer me on. After being in the field all day, I might go home and cry, share some tears. She's there to encourage me, right? And my two kids, Chase, he's 6, Skylar, she's 3. Their growth in real estate, right? Their understanding of real estate, and they are growing on a tremendous pace. So Dad is super proud of you guys. And then my marketing team, Brittany and Gerald with Yes to Real Estate, and then my partners of Ashley, who's one half of Russ Green Properties, and she's one half of Yes to Real Estate. Her and I, we do a lot of new construction, a lot of flips together. And then Diamond, my transaction coordinator, and my GC for our new construction, right? So as we talk about the success of the brand, it definitely goes back and tie into the team itself. So thank you, team, so much for what you do. So, John, you brought up a good point of the inner city and the reviving of what's going on. A real quick story, John. I grew up in Fifth Ward, right? So that's where we bought our first rental at. And I remember in middle school, I'm not going to lie to you, John, I was a bad kid, right? I used to act up in middle school, right? But what people didn't understand, John, is that I was acting out because the only way that I got attention was when I act up. So my mom was on drugs. My dad was dead, right? He died at an early age. So I remember going to school. The kids knew my mom was on drugs. And then I would come home from school and see my mom do drugs, right? And growing up in the inner city, it was very challenging because there was no role model, right? There was no image to look at to say, hey, I want to be like them in a positive manner, right? The only people we had were the teachers. And I remember going to school one day, and my teacher looked at me. As I'm looking up to him, he was looking down at me, and he stared me right in the eyes, John. He said, Andre, you would never amount to anything. He said, you hard-headed, you don't listen, you would never be anything in life. And for the audience, maybe it's not that teacher who told you that you won't be anything. Maybe it's that deal that you're working on and is giving you a hard time. And one lender is stating that you can't close this deal because you didn't go with John McKinley to get the deal done. Maybe it's a hard deal that you're trying to close, and it's a $3 million deal, and you're going through all these obstacles, and everybody's telling you that you're not going to close this deal. So when the teacher spoke that into my life, John, my life was never the same. I began to act out what he spoke over my life. And the reason why I'm sharing this story is because sometimes, even in the entrepreneur realm, sometimes we begin to act out our disbelief and our unbelief in what we can do. So as he spoke that, I began to act that out. And my life didn't change until I met my youth pastor years ago, where he changed the language and he spoke life into my life. And then once that happened, things began to shift. But the great thing about this story, John, is the reason why I wanted to tell it is because I went back to the same area of where my teacher told me that I wasn't going to be anything, to build new construction and flips. So one project that we're working on in the inner city in Fifth Ward is you can look out the primary bedroom and see the school. That same school where that teacher spoke negatively in my life, I can see the school from that primary bedroom that we built as developers. So you're talking about
developing the area of town that you grew up in, and that teacher pointed his finger at you, looked down on you, and said, you ain't going to amount to nothing.
Exactly. He said it while looking directly into my eyes. Now we're building townhomes in that same community, looking up at people and giving them hope.
Nice. Sometimes I love hearing stories like that, because sometimes I almost think when somebody does that to somebody, especially a young, impressionable person, yeah, you kind of get that negative thought. Maybe you start doing some things wrong, but there's something the inside of you going, no, this isn't me. That's not me. Yeah. That's not who I am. That builds itself and fights its way to get out. And then just like you and your team are doing now. You've got an incredible team. You just mentioned off the name of your whole team. But the great thing is you started at where you're supposed to start it, at the base, at the foundation with your wife and your family, because that's the way it was originally designed to be put together. I don't want to get too religious here, but, from the creator up in heaven, he's the one that said, hey, this is the way it's supposed to be.
No, absolutely.
And you're giving your
Absolutely.
children somebody to look up to now, where you didn't have a dad because unfortunately he passed away when you were young.
Yes. And we built our business, John, on three principles: integrity, transparency, and honesty, right? And because of those principles, yes, it takes longer to grow because you're doing everything right. And majority of the time when you do stuff the right way, it takes time for people to see it because consistency plays a role. But John, when I tell you that once things took off, it really took off, right? In 2022 is when we built our first new construction. And what's amazing about this, John, is that sometimes people want to tap into the investment realm and they want to wing it, right? So in 2022, shout out to my mentor Julio, who taught me the new construction game, right? He in 2022 he taught me how to do new construction. The two things that I did: number one, I paid him to build the two homes for me, and number two, I paid him for mentorship, right? And I know we're going to tap into that a little bit later, but that's pretty much what happened once we got into the community before we start building.
Now, let me ask you this. You are doing a lot with the real estate investing side, which is fantastic. So
Yeah.
if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is not only are you building new homes, revitalizing Fifth Ward area, you're also going in and finding existing homes around the Houston area that are in need of renovation, going in, renovating them, building them up, and being able to offer those homes out to the community. Now, are you selling those, or are you holding some of those, or kind of a combination mix of the two?
Great question. So I think a lot of times when you go into a community, it has a negative notation, right? Like we're trying to come here and change things. Or at the end of the day, John, I tell the residents that change is going to happen, right? Our job is to make sure that the community is aware of the change, that they be a part of the change, and that they can see how the change would benefit them as well. So anytime we go into a community, we let them know how this change would benefit them as a resident as well. So typically when we go into a community, if there's just land, we do new construction. But if there's an existing structure, we go in, rehab the structure, and bring it back to life, and try to keep as many of the original state of the home as possible. But yes, majority of the homes we go in, we rehab, and then we put it back on the market for sale.
Nice. Now, I know, because I'm also involved in real estate investing. I also work with a lot of real estate investors, but I know when I've done renovations, whether I'm buying it to hold or whether I'm buying it to flip, the people in the community, once they actually start seeing your crews in there making stuff happen, you going in and checking up and talking with the community and letting them see what's going on, they're like, oh, this is great. That used to have issues with this. We'd have problem with people going in those houses doing things that shouldn't be going on, and they see you coming in there bringing this thing back up to standards, not just putting bubble gum and tape on the thing on the home.
Yeah.
You're actually going in and bringing it up to the standards where a new family can come in and get a dream home for a great price that's been completely renovated.
Yes, that's a great point. So each time we go into a community, rehab a home, we do several things, John. Number one, we go out and knock on the doors, right? Hello, John. This is Andre and yes, the real estate team. We are here at 3202 Lee Street. Our purpose of being here is that we bought the property at the corner. We're going to bring it back to life, and we're going to add value. We would love to have you to come out and check out the home and see what your thoughts are, right? And here's another thing that we do. And when I say we knock on every door, we go 3 blocks to the left, 3 blocks to the right, and door knock and let people know that we are coming to the community. We are coming to add value, and we would like to have some insight from them, right? And after each rehab, we throw a kind of like a block party to invite the families out to do an open house and walk the property, and also to bring the community together. So what that does, John, it does several things. We both know sometimes in the inner city, in the up and coming neighborhood, theft, crime is a big issue, right? So the more eyes that you have on your property, the better it is. So now what we did was we took nobody know who we are to everybody on the street know who we are. We give them our number. We give them our information on to contact us, right? So what that does is, yes, we have security camera, but now we also have the whole block looking out after the house. So if they see any suspicious activity, guess what they're going to do? They're going to
Give you a
call
call.
us, right? So it does several things. It's extra security, but also bringing unison to the community and the street for the property.
And how many times after you've gone in and introduced yourself to the neighborhood and they figure out, wait a minute, you're there to help, you're there to bring your help to raise up the neighborhood. How many times have you had one of the family members or friends of one of those neighbors bring somebody to you that actually bought the home from you? Because that's the best feeling when you do that.
Yes, actually, that happened twice, right? To where someone in the neighborhood seen the home. Once we were done with the rehab, said, hey, you know what? I want to get financing and buy this home from you, right? So it happened to us twice. So somewhere who seen the home before, came back, was part of the bringing the home back to standards, and now seeing the finished product and now living in the home. It happened to us twice. Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah. There's something about it, especially when you go into the neighborhoods and you start building back these houses, because you just get such a warm welcoming from the community. Usually at first they're a little cautious, they're a little
Yes.
apprehensive. They may have had another investor come in town and try to do something with one of the houses before that never
Yep.
went anywhere, because there's people like you and I that are qualified. We know what we're doing. We know how to make it happen. But there's a whole lot of people out there that went online and took an online course and unfortunately don't have any guidance, don't have any mentorship,
Yeah.
and gone in and done something completely wrong and left a bigger mess than when they got there. It's like
Yeah.
I tell everybody, real estate investing, it's a team sport. You've
Yes.
got to have your team members, just like you mentioned in the beginning, Andre. I've got my team. If it
Yes.
wasn't for my team, I wouldn't have what I have today, because
Correct.
I know they're there for me.
Yes. Yes. And you brought up a great point, John, with people who come and rehab homes and leave the home in a worse shape than they started off. Um, that's why mentorship is important when it comes to rehabbing home as well. And that's why I tell people who pay attention. People who pay attention. Before we got started in new construction or rehab, we did two things. We partner up on a deal, right? So we can understand the ins and out of the deal, right? From the soft cost stage, dealing with the city and the crews. And we paid them for mentorship, right? I never got into anything, John, without paying someone who was an expert matter to get the intellectual property. Because I know that not only is my money at stake, but my reputation and other investor funds are at stake as well. So you cannot guess your way in investing or come in and say, I'm going to figure it out. No, thousands of dollars and millions of dollars on the line if you try to come in and figure it out instead of just paying someone for their intellectual property to help you avoid the pitfalls when it comes to rehabbing homes or new construction.
Well, it's just like when you got involved in the wonderful world of real estate and became a real
Yes.
estate agent. Yeah, you spent money, you had training you had to take to get that license, but I'm going to bet money, Andre, that you
Yeah.
go, you know what? I want to take myself to the next level. I have to go do additional training. I have to go
Yeah.
get additional education.
Yeah. And along with that is understanding how are the great ones, the great agents, how are they performing, and like how are they doing deals, how are they getting deals, and you have to pay to play, right? So even with the great agents who does millions of dollars a year in transactions, but when I got started, I paid to have a consultation to pick their brain. Many times we want to pick people's brains or take them out for lunch and pick their brains. No, ask them how much is their fee for an hour of their time and pay for it. Because I guarantee that when you pay for someone's time, you're going to get the best time ever. Because now in their minds is they are invested with you. you pay a fee for the intellectual property, and now in their minds they do not want to let you down because you actually paid to play. And that's how we was able to take the business. I've been an agent for going on 6 years now. I've been rehabbing and doing new construction since 2022, right? And we took the real estate business from the past 3 years of we did $23 million. We did $40 million in the past 2 years in transactions of real estate. And the
Nice.
only reason why is because I paid to play and I paid to get in the room with the people who had the intellectual property.
You make a great point there. When I first got started in this business, I used to be in construction. I used to be an
Yeah,
electrician. That's what I did for
yeah,
a living. Carried around a big whole hog all day. And if anybody who's ever wired residential, you know what a whole hog is.
yeah,
Jerking rope all day long. And I transitioned from that. And I went straight out of being an electrician to going to work for a real estate investor. And
mm,
learned so much from that man, and that's
yeah,
what led me into the mortgage business. Is all I learned watching what he did, watching how he structured deals, watching how he put things together, led me into the world of mortgages. And I went, well, wait a minute, there's not a lot of mortgage folk out here that understand real estate investing and how to put these deals together. I get this. I understand all of what an investor needs, and I understand now what a lender needs and wants. So we don't have to worry about the investor having financial trouble, and we don't have to worry about the real estate investor going, I don't have the funds to work. Take that knowledge and really help a lot of real estate investors be quite successful. And that
yeah.
same man, and this was now I'm dating myself, but this was in the mid 90s when I went to work for this gentleman. We still do business together today. He now trusts me, and for a long time he's trusted me as his go-to mortgage guy for his people.
No, that is amazing. Um, you you went and received the intellectual property from being an electrician, from being in the field of the new construction. So now, when you have a conversation with other investors, novice investors and experts investors, you able to transcend your conversation on both ends, and you can be a guiding light to the novice investor on helping them get their things together to go to the next level. That's why I tell people social proof is so important. John, you can actually have a conversation with an investor and say, hey, I've been there. I know what you need in order to get qualified, in order to get this project done. I was on both sides. And having that social proof matters. So for as an agent, when I have a conversation with an investor to list their new construction project, I'm able to say, hey, look, I'm an investor too. I build homes, I develop homes, and I'm an agent. So when you having issues with the city, we can kind of bounce ideas off each other. Or if you stuck in permitting, I know exactly where you're stuck at, right? Or if you having issues with your plans, or you're asking me what really sells, I can tell you what's the price of framing a house per square foot, right? That helps me as an agent and allows me to get more deals for my listings. So it's an amazing world to have been on both sides for sure.
Oh, I'm grateful to it. You know, when I was in my younger years, construction, and I've done a lot of different types of construction, but I look at it now on how much that's taught me to be able to help people who are doing the same type of work I did, whether it was an electrician, whether it's contract work. I even worked in the oil field industry for a while in the chemical plants down in the Deer Park, Pasadena area, Baytown
Oh,
area.
welcome home. Welcome home.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember that. You know, so when I get somebody that gets that type of pay, okay, the underwriter doesn't understand that. I'm like, I got you. I understand how you get paid. I understand how this works. I then can take the pieces, the puzzle, I call it the puzzle pieces I need from them, structure it together and make a picture so I can present it to the underwriter and go, this is what it looks like. This is what reality looks like. They take it, verify it. Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you. I've had people that have been turned down by 3 and 4 other lenders. And one of their friends said, go to John. Go
Yeah,
to John Money. He'll get you the money.
yeah,
He'll get you into a house.
yeah,
Sure enough, make it happen. I mean, it's people don't realize that people like you and I on our end, it's a great feeling when we take a family who, especially when they've been told no, that they
Yep.
can't get a home, not because their credit's not good, not because they don't have some money for a down payment, just for maybe some circumstance that somebody else didn't have the creativity and the thought to be able to structure it and put the deal together properly, take it, make it work, and get them into a home.
No, I love it. I love it. That's why you're a John Money McKinley. That's the reason why.
It's a fantastic thing. And let's talk about this too, because I know when I was talking with you last week, you've got a lot of townhomes and things that you're building. Dig a
Yep.
little more into that, because I know you said you've got a bunch of them getting ready to go live and come online here. Talk about that
Yes.
some more, please. Let people
Yes.
know how they can go see these new projects going up.
Yes, John. I tell the millions of people who's watching and listening how mentorship can really speed up your progress and your success, right? So we started this journey in 2022. So we're looking at a year and a half ago, John, where I knew nothing about new construction, right? I paid my mentor to build the first two homes, and I paid him $40,000 to teach me how to do new construction. And then I built the other two in 2022 by ourselves in 3 months and 3 weeks, right? And now 2023, we was going through permitting for all of the stuff we're working on. And now 2024, we have around 25 projects coming to the market. 25 from not
Wow.
knowing anything in 2022 to 25 coming to the market with my partners and I. So from duplexes on a 10,000 square foot lot to townhomes in Fifth Ward, townhomes in Acres Home, duplexes in Acres Home, townhomes in Fifth Ward, townhome duplexes in South Park, Sunnyside, all within the inner city, around 25 projects. And we have the famous Guest to Real Estate Texas tiny homes coming to the market of 2024. What makes this new construction community so amazing, John, is that just recently the city of Houston passed the Livable Places Ordinance. So what this is the opportunity to to have more homes on a smaller lot. Let's use an example. For example number one, now we are able to put a fourplex on a 5,000 square foot lot, right? Typically, the city would not allow that to happen because they would consider that to be commercial zoning, or commercial, bringing up to commercial code and things like that. But now the city is allowing us to do that on a 5,000 square foot lot. Now you just took it from just a duplex of 450,000 sales price to now maybe an $850,000-$900,000 property. So you're talking about the transfer of wealth of living on one side and renting out the other three and riding the wave of appreciation, right? That's one thing that the Livable Places Ordinance allow us to do. Number two, it allow us to focus more on the density, right? Putting more on a smaller lot. So we have a 15,000 square foot lot in Fifth Ward, right off of Deschamps and Lee Street. You can actually see downtown is like 2.5 minutes away. East River Project is a minute and a half away, right? So we're putting 9 tiny homes. So each home is 960 square feet. It's a courtyard subdivision, right? So imagine you come into your gated community, you park your car in the parking lot, and then you walk down the courtyard to get to your home, right? 2 stories, 2 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 960 square feet. It's going to be the first of its kind in Fifth Ward. And we already starting the process of pre-selling, and it has a lot of activity. That
So
is a
these are going to be for
$2 million
sale.
project. Yes.
So
for
you're
sale.
building these nice little communities, which is a good home for just because let's be honest, there's a lot of single people
Yeah.
living today. Not
Yes.
as many folks are getting married as they used to back in our parents' day.
Yeah.
And so they can get an affordable house that's got
Yep.
enough space for them in a great gated community now.
Yes. Right.
When
Because
is that going live?
So we are also right now in the permitting process. So it's live now. So you can go on the MLS and type in the 3102 Lee Street, and
Mhm.
we have it listed for 250,000 now, right? And we should break ground. We're looking at May of this year as far as breaking ground, starting the building process. Um, the great thing about this project is, John, is at the end of the day, it is in an up and coming community. So you have to address some of the concerns of safety, some of the concerns of pretty much safety, right? So
Right.
that's why we made it a gated community. That's why we made it to where the gates open and close to allow you access to come in. No one just can't walk into the premise, but also we wanted to address the community feel, right? That's why we have the courtyard to where you have grass in the middle, trees in the middle, a bench in the middle, to where it gives you that neighborly feel once again at a neighborly price. So we're looking at $250,000 list price. And it's truly amazing because it's a win on both ends. It's a win on our end to where we're looking to make around $900,000 profit on this deal, but also we're looking to bring affordable product to the community at a great price to where we win as the builders, but also the buyer wins as buying a great product at a low price in an up and coming area.
Well, a lot of people too, for people, sometimes people forget what the Heights used to be like and what
Yeah,
it is today. The same, and see that I love that because you're getting you're getting areas in parts of town where there's plenty of historical real estate down there. Great historical things.
yeah,
You're now providing them some affordable housing, cleaning up the area and cleaning up the town. Because let's be honest, when people go in and start cleaning up these parts of town and cleaning up these neighborhoods, the criminals get out of there because
yeah,
they don't like that.
yes.
Because one, you're getting the backing of the people there. You're also getting backing of the law enforcement because they're like, hey, some folks are coming in and revitalizing this place. Let's keep it going upward in an upward direction. You can go down in the Heights now. I mean, there's so many great places just in the Heights alone, and you doing these type of things in these other types of neighborhoods is fantastic.
No, I remember when the Heights used to be the hood, right? So I remember when we had apartments all down. I forget the name of the street by the railroad tracks, but it was just shotgun houses and apartments all down. And now you can see it totally changed. And another thing, what it does when we come into the neighborhood, it brings tax dollars within the community, right? So when the tax dollars follow, we can kind of dictate and control and demand certain things, right? So we have funds being back in the community. People are paying property tax, not just on land now, but actually a structure, right? So the city of Houston is eating very well, which in return we could demand certain things from the city, right? I'm a big advocate on if we're going to demand something, we have to lead with what we are providing, right? And I made it my mission to make sure that I get the intellectual property, get the know-how, and start causing change within the community before I start demanding something from City Hall, right? So now when I go to the city, I can demand because we have social proof, right? Hey, look, we building townhomes. We have 20 projects in Fifth Ward. We need better opportunity of cops patrolling the neighborhood. So now when they look us up and see the tax dollars that's going out from this community, they're like, yeah, yeah, it makes sense, right? Let's give a listening ear. It's hard to expect a listening ear if you have not caused any social change or any social proof, right? So before I ask of anything, I always want to go and put in the work first so people can see the change. So now when I speak, they know that I'm speaking from someone who had put some time and energy in that particular opportunity.
You're letting your actions do the talking.
Yes,
You're showing
yes.
City Hall. It's like up here in the Woodlands where I'm at. I can promise you the business district where the shopping is and the restaurants and all that nice area is there. That is the highest patrol police area.
Yes.
Yeah, you cannot miss. I do. I go down there a lot. You
Yes,
got patrolling. You got the park rangers. Everybody's got their eyes around, and it's the same
yes,
thing you're doing, which is fantastic because
yes,
the city looks at it and goes, "Hey, this man is bringing in revenue because if he's bringing in homes and people to come build up this community again, this is going to bring in businesses. So now we're getting taxes on the property, then we're going to get taxes on the business. It's a win-win for everybody." And the people
everyone.
getting in now at the beginning, when they can get in at the entry level, they can be like the folks in the Heights that are now sitting on these, $1 million+ homes that not too long ago there was $110,000 maybe.
John, you brought up a good point. The 4 homes that we built in 2022, let me tell you what we sold them for. We sold the first home, John, for $275,000. And let me tell you, it was hard to get the appraisal up. I had to go back and forth with the appraisal team, and then I had to say no to some of the clients because the appraisal company wouldn't change. So you think sometimes in these up and coming areas it's going to be easy? No, you have to be ready to fight. So we finally got the price that we wanted, $275,000 for the first townhome we sold, right? Then a month later, we sold the second townhome for $300,000. A month later, then 2 months later, John, we sold the third townhome for $335,000, and then the fourth townhome for $345,000. So you're looking at within 6 months, John, the guy who bought house number 1 for $275,000 is sitting on close to $100,000 worth of equity within 6 months. 6 months. So you see how sometimes you can be the first in a community to buy something, how you can ride the wave and the trajectory of the equity play. It is truly, truly amazing.
Oh, it is. I mean, and we've seen so much in the numbers that I'm seeing. It's actually a good thing where we're going in the world of real estate because we're starting to get some balance in the world of real estate.
Yeah.
I explain this to people all the time. You don't want to have a 7, 8, 9, 10, 12-month supply of real estate. That's too far on the extreme. However, you don't want to have a 2-week supply of real estate either.
Yep.
Well, my prices are going up. My prices are going. No, that's an unhealthy real estate market. We've been in an unhealthy real estate market. We're starting to come into a healthier market. And the good thing is we're going to see rates start to take a general dip down. We're not going to see any drop down to the bottom. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I had a crystal ball where I could look into the future and tell you, Andre, in the year of 2025, on February the 5th, interest rates will be at 3% again. No, I can't do that. However, everything is starting to level out now, which is a fantastic thing. And people really need to take a look and see what they have going on in their life. And I tell this to people sometimes too. Hey, look, now's not the time for you to buy. You need to do this, this, and this in your life, because I don't want to put people into a prison, because people can get into a home and it becomes a prison. I'm like, I don't want to do that to you. Let's clean up this other stuff in your life. Let's stay in contact over the next 6-7 months. Then you'll be in the position, if you follow what I tell you to do and get with the people that I tell you to get with, be in the position to buy comfortably and live in your home and enjoy your home.
Yes. And that is very important. I think, John, we learned that in 2023, how adjusting to the high interest rate in this industry is important. We lost a lot of agents in 2023, right? They was eating very well in 2022. 2023, they went back to work, right? And I can tell you, John, one of the reasons why the real estate survived the market in 2023 is because of these things here. Now, in 2022, we did $25 million in transactions, right? Anybody could look like a rock star in 2022, right? It's like it was easy selling real estate. With being a listing agent, it was just easy doing it. It was real easy. But when 2023 hit, we only did $17 million in transaction. So you're looking at almost a $10 million dip. right? And you begin to start questioning yourself on what did you do wrong. But as I began to talk with other producers and everyone else, everyone took a hit, right? Because of the high interest rate. But one of the things that we did also in 2023 and 2022, we start thinking above just being an agent. So that's where we start new construction, rehab homes, our mentorship program, rentals, having our own rentals, right? And speaking opportunities. So by starting that in 2022, 2023, we was able to continue to thrive because we was in everyone's face. And now 2024 is looking truly amazing and everything is coming together. So sometimes you have to pivot. Like you told the clients, maybe this is not the right time for you. Let's put a game plan together for the next 6 months to prepare you for when you're ready. And it was the same thing for me in real estate, is adjusting to the market and learn how to pivot along with the market is why we are on the trajectory for $40 million in 2024.
And like I said, it's a great thing, because I tell people, we got rid of a lot of the people that really didn't belong in the market as real estate agents. We've
Yeah.
also gotten rid of a lot of the loan officers. I'll
Yes.
be perfectly honest with you. Loan officers can be have the reputation sometimes of being some shady people, but the ones that are the true loan officers, the ones like myself that are there to actually help people and provide a great service for them, I'm still here. I'm going to be rocking and rolling for a long time. This is what I do. I've been in the world of mortgages since 1999.
Well, yeah, I like that. When you put it like that, it sounds like it's a really long time, which it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. And here's something I tell people. I still have the same phone number that I had in 1999 as I do today in 2024.
Yeah.
Same business phone number. People are like, oh, wow. I'm like, look, I'm in this for the long haul. Well, I have really enjoyed this, Andre. I would definitely like to have you back on in the future, but my producer's telling me we've been on for well over 30 minutes and we're getting ready to shut it down. But a couple of things. I'd love for you to let the people know how they can get a hold of you. But as soon as I put you back in the green room here in a little bit, please hang out for a little bit, because I want to talk to you some more once we get off the air live. So don't leave, but please let my audience know how they can reach out to you and your team over there and get a consultation with you to see what they can do for their real estate needs.
Yes, absolutely, John. But before I do that, John, I want to leave a lasting word for the millions of people who's watching and listening. John and I had a great conversation today. We talked about $1 million a transaction, making moves, causing change within the community. And you heard all of this and you're thinking, why not you? Right? Well, let me tell you this story. John, in this business, we have to do photography work, right? We have to get pictures taken, videos and things like that. So I remember we was doing a video shoot, the team and I, right? And the photographer told me, Dre, stand right here and pose, right? So I stood there in the middle of the living room. I had on my 3-piece, John. I was looking sharp, John. I had my haircut edge on point. So he said, okay, pose and smile. I said, okay. So I got my arms together. I pose, I'm smiling. And all I see him doing and hearing is the camera going off. It like click, 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 click. So as he's making the clicking noises and taking a picture, he's making a statement to me as well. He said, okay, we almost got it. We almost got it. Click, click, click. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good. Click, click, click. Oh, we almost there. We almost there. Click, click, click. We almost there. And click. Boom. That's it. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what you mean we almost there? I for sure heard you click the camera 15 times. And on the 16th time, you said we there now. So I began to ask him a question. I'm like, quick question. You kept making a statement that we almost there. And then we finally made it there. What changed? He said, see, Andre, here's the thing with photography. He said, you focus on just the one shot. I'm focused on the one shot. And sometimes it takes 15 shots to get to that one shot. You have to understand that if I'm telling you to be still, It's for a purpose. In your head, you think I'm telling you to be still for the one shot. I'm telling you to be still for the 16th shot. And sometime in business, everyone, we want that instant gratification. We want that one shot, but the Lord is leading us on a journey for that 16th shot. And we have to be patient with our process, because what happens if we try to come out on the 9th shot and the picture is all blurry because you didn't want to be patient and wait for the 16th shot? Then you mess up everything that you work for all the way up to the 9th shot. So I just want to encourage everyone to take your shot, be patient, understand there's a process to get to where you need to be. It's okay to cry. It's okay to get down on yourself or to be concerned, but understand everybody has gone through multiple shots with the photographer to get that one shot. You can reach me at Andre Yes to Real Estate on Instagram, Andre Yes to Real Estate on Facebook. Um, if you want to learn more about new construction or rehab homes, we have courses of www.yestorealestatecourses.com. But most importantly, our job is to edify you and to uplift you to the next level. This is your season to go to the next level. This is your season for greatness. This is your season for your 16th shot. So thank you for saying yes to your right now. And thank you for saying yes to real estate. See you and the millions of people who's watching and listening at the top.
Thank you, Andre. I really appreciate you coming on today. And I want to tell my listeners and viewers and audience, please, you need to reach out to Andre. Now is the time. 2024 there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening. Try not to pay too much attention to that television. Remember, it's there to tell lies to your vision. That's why it's there. It's a propaganda machine. I'm not a propagandist. I'm not a propaganda kind of guy. I'm a guy here that delivers truth. I'm a guy here that brings real people here, like Andre and his team that started from nothing, came from a home that was struggling, is building himself up to going back into the same communities that told him he was nothing and not going to go anywhere, and building them back up. We're going to give you the truth about what's going on. We're not going to BS you. We're not going to tell you a bunch of fairy tales and lies. We're here to help you. I encourage you all, please tell your friends about this show. We're doing a lot of great stuff in 2024. Going to have a lot of great things going on. I got a great show coming up next week. I'm going to have the credit expert. Some of y'all may have seen him before. Greg West, he's been on my show, brings a lot of great information. And we're going to start digging into some real important stuff on the real estate news next week, as well as credit and finance. But once again, Andre, please don't leave. Hang out here for a little bit. I want to chat with you some more. But everybody, you have a great day, and go out there and make it happen.